The Houston Rockets are coming off a season where they finished 22-60. Less than impressive to say the least. However, we're not here to harp on that in this video. Today I want to talk about the very, very bright future of the Rockets, and more specifically, the connections between them and my favorite team, the Denver Nuggets. This video will cover three main things: the key youngsters of the Rockets' future and their skill sets, their closest comparisons to the Nuggets roster in terms of role, playstyle, and production, and just my overall thoughts on the outlook of their future. Without further ado, welcome to summer school. Today's lesson is on the Houston Nuggets. The first player I want to start with is 21-year-old shooting guard Jalen Green. He was drafted second overall in the 2021 NBA draft after playing for the G League Ignite. And during his sophomore season last season, he averaged 22 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, shooting 47% from 2 and 37% from 3. A multi-dimensional shooting guard with an offensive bag that is deep. Next up is Turkish center Alperen Şengün. Şengün is a fascinating young talent whose skill set has enough of a match to Nikola Jokic's to warrant this type of video. In 2023, he averaged 15 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists, and there are a lot of other things to his game that we will definitely talk about in detail shortly. Jabari Smith Jr. is a 6'11" forward drafted 3rd overall in 2022. Last season, he averaged 13 and 8 on pretty subpar shooting splits, but nonetheless showcasing his multi-talented skill set, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Tari Eason is a 6'8" forward who I think is one of the most intriguing pieces of this whole thing. Last season averaging 9.6 rebounds and 1 steal in just 21.5 minutes per game. But because I want to show off Tari some more and because I like him so much, we're going to adjust those numbers for per 36. So adjusted to per 36, we see those numbers go up to 15 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 block. Now, just because I only broke down these 4 or talked about these 4 so far doesn't mean that I forgot about the rest. They signed Fred VanVleet, Dillon Brooks, and Jeff Green in free agency. Brooks brings some really good perimeter defense to a team that could use some, and FVV and Jeff Green both bring championship pedigree and leadership. The Rockets also have Kevin Porter Jr., Jae'Sean Tate, and their 2023 draft picks, Amen Thompson and Cam Whitmore. All guys that deserve some praise when talking about the Rockets' future. Now I want to take this time to key in on a few direct player-to-player comparisons that I think are the closest to being one-to-one matches. Tari Eason in this equation is the Aaron Gordon. Both of them are 6'8" defenders at the forward position. Both can provide really good help defense at the rim. Both of them bother shots with their enormous wingspans. They're both capable of being an occasional catch and shoot option from behind the line, although you're not really banking on them to be that much of a threat. Both are capable of playing on ball as a creator for themselves at times, and both of them are very, very athletic vertical threats. Both who I think are plug and play players, and both who provide such tremendous impact in so many different areas of the court. Jabari Smith Jr. is the Michael Porter Jr. in my eyes. Both of them are 6'10" sharpshooters. They both can operate as shooters in many different situations, talking about the catch and shoot, the DHO midi, and movement/relocation shooting. And both of them provide some rim protecting ability and overall defensive potential, with obviously Jabari having more potential and being a better defender in general at this moment. Jalen Green is a Jamal Murray in this situation. He's a crafty finisher at the rim. He's got elite moves on the perimeter to get himself open for a jumper. He's got the ability to score out of screening actions. He's got the ability to play as a cutting off-ball guard to a passing center. And both Jalen Green and Jamal Murray's passing/playmaking chops have developed lately to match those of a primary guard. And lastly, Alperen Şengün is very clearly the Nikola Jokic of this equation. Both of them are playmaking hubs at nearly 7 feet. Both of them have got a grind you down post style with an array of post moves and beautiful footwork. They've both got that soft, short range floater that we love seeing them bust out. They both love to throw flashy dimes out of the post. Jokic's skill set is obviously more vast, especially on the offensive side of the ball, so we'll just ignore that part for now. But honestly, they're very similar. I want to start this section with, I think, the most obvious similarity between the Rockets and the Nuggets, and that would be an offense tailored toward a playmaking center. Alperen Şengün has the talent and potential to be an offensive hub with very talented athletes around him. And that's the path that this roster construction has taken so far. The drafting of an athletic and playmaking point guard in Amin Thompson, coupled with Şengün's development on ball, will allow a player like Kevin Porter Jr., for example, to play a more natural position of off-ball shooting guard, akin to KCP's role on the Nuggets offense, except with more volume. And considering that KPJ shot 39% on catch and shoot threes last season, it makes sense to help form a system that works towards his strengths. And for correlation purposes, KCP shot 44% on catch and shoots in a system that actually prioritized those attempts. Imagine what KPJ can do. Tari Eason and Cam Whitmore can also be used as the occasional catch and shoot threat, though not to the same degree as KPJ at all. Where I'm most interested in seeing those two play, however, is as slashers, especially since they'll have people to get them the ball. More good passers means more good ball movement, which means more defensive movement, which means more scrambling, which means more potential open shots. And if Tari Eason and Cam Whitmore can fill those slots and those gaps in a defense and get to the rim and create pressure on the rim, I think it'll bode really, really well for the Rockets offense. I also want to highlight the potential for ball movement in this squad. As we all know, the Nuggets are one of, if not the best passing team in the NBA. And I think the Rockets have the long-term potential to emulate that, although maybe not to the exact same degree. They have a decent amount of individually good passers that I believe can buy into an Ime Udoka system. I'm very high on their potential to be a really good extra pass team. And the ability to make the extra pass or connective pass is very important in finding quality looks. And part of that connective passing potential is Şengün's ability as a short roll decision maker, a skill that I think can blossom for him very soon.
Oh, what a pass!
Jokic and Jamal won a championship based around their two-man action, an action that can produce a variety of results. And when I look at Şengün and Jalen Green, I see a lot of these opportunities popped up when they're involved in a two-man action. I think it's really beneficial to an offense when your lead guard doesn't have to be the primary ball handler or play initiator all the time. One of the inherent advantages to a guard's play style is their speed and agility, hence why they love getting a big switched onto them. If you can use that speed to play off ball, use that speed for cuts to the hoop or V cuts for open perimeter shots, I think that bodes really, really well for an offense. We see it in Denver, we see it in Houston, we see it in Sacramento, etc. Now, obviously, De'Aaron Fox and Jalen Green are the more downhill threats of this trio of teams, but all three are following the same archetype for the most part. Score-first guards, three-level scoring guards, and guards that benefit from DHO games with a big that sets really good screens. Just had to throw De'Aaron Fox in there because I do love the Sacramento Kings, and they're one of my agenda teams for this upcoming season, so don't be surprised if you hear me talk about them in other videos. Not this one because we're talking about the Rockets, but you know. Anyway, back to the video. Another aspect of the Nuggets two-man game is the amount of players Jokic can run it with. We've seen him be the P&R handler for a power forward, mainly Aaron Gordon. And also, as another quick side note, the 5'4" P&R is one of my favorite play types in the NBA right now. Jokic also likes to run a lot of DHOs, specifically with MPJ. The similarity here being a 5'4" DHO with the 4 being a tall movement shooter who can get to a spot after getting the handoff with 1 to 2 dribbles. Although I see a lot of similarities between the Nuggets and Rockets, I think there are some unique things that Houston has and does that make me even more excited about their future. The defensive potentials of Jabari Smith Jr. and Tari Eason as wings are two of the most unique things. These two have the tools to insulate Şengün on the interior, providing some level of switchability on the perimeter, as well as showing flashes of rim protection, rim help, and rim deterrence. Jabari's wingspan is 7'1", Tari's is 7'2". And I think as a duo, their combined defensive potential outweighs that of their counterparts, MPJ and Aaron Gordon. I think it'll be a great strength for this team moving forward, especially that rim protection part, because like Jokic, Şengün isn't that great when it comes to defending the rim. So he needs a lot of help from lengthy wings to cover his tracks. And I think Jabari and Tari can do that. Another unique aspect of the Rockets' future is Amin Thompson. I really, really like Amin as a basketball talent. Last season in the OTE League, he averaged 16 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists while shooting 66% on his twos. He's incredibly athletic, he's amazing in transition, he's got a great first step, and he's also got some really nice defensive upside. Eventually, he will be the starting point guard for this team. His playmaking and defensive ability alongside an offensive talent like Jalen Green is really going to unlock that offense. Amin will be able to be the play initiator, he can be an off-ball play finisher, and he can be the P&R ball handler alongside Alperen. I like Amin's potential as a Swiss Army knife NBA player. And I know this is technically the differences section, and technically Bruce is no longer a Denver Nugget, but the scheme versatility of Amin Thompson reminds me so much of Bruce's same versatility. He was so successful in Denver because his versatility was fully explored. And in order to unlock the potential I see in Amin Thompson, I think the Rockets should let him play different roles throughout his early years, like the Nuggets let Bruce do last season. I would also love to see some guard-to-guard screens with Amin and Jalen Green, where Thompson gets to be the short roll decision maker with Şengün or Tari underneath the hoop, and Dylan Brooks and Jabari Smith in the corner and on the wing. Just a hoop lover's fantasy, because I think that play would work out really well for them. Overall, I'm really excited to watch this Rockets take off up close. I think they have many compatible tools that will lead to overall team success. And as I was researching stuff for this video, I became more and more obsessed with their offensive potential. The parallels I see between them and the Denver Nuggets are so fascinating to recognize and then relay to y'all. I had a really fun time making this video. So, if you don't already have plans on watching the Houston Rockets for the 2023-2024 season, I implore you to add them to your League Pass watch list. Or, you know, wherever you watch your games, wink wink. If you enjoyed the video, leave it a like and subscribe if you really, really liked the video. Thank you all for watching to the end. I'll catch y'all later, man. Peace out.